Hey everyone, it's Zen the Jew. Happy new moon in Scorpio as of today, November 4th, 2021. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. I discuss things about witchcraft and the occult and meditation and all sorts of things. So please go ahead and click on the subscribe button below and click on the bell so you know when I release a new video. Today I want to talk about my own version or my own 2 cents of beginning your craft. And I know there's a lot of videos out on YouTube about this topic, but I felt since everyone else has already done this that I should give you my opinion on how to start your craft. Now, there's so many different things you have to consider, and judgment from everyone else is not one of them. So please keep that in mind. It's your craft. You do what you want to do. You can worship deities if you want to. If not, that's fine too. It's entirely up to you. It is all about you, and that's it. Nobody else. You're not buying an iPhone, you're not buying an Android phone, you don't want to hear what everybody else is buying. You do you. That's it. Okay, let's get into the video. Okay, so let's talk about beginning your craft. And again, this is just my personal opinion based on what I've encountered since I've read so many books about the occult, about different traditions, about not having or not following a tradition or creating your own tradition, which is something that I personally have done. First off, obviously, you want to do research. And the research, you can find information on YouTube, which, be careful. Again, TikTok too, be very careful. You can go to your public library, believe it or not, and look up information based on history of witchcraft and also different authors that write books today. You can search out online publications. Now, what you want to do with the online publications is make sure that it's from a reliable source. You want to get information that is from an expert, such as, let's say, Matt Aron or Devin Hunter or Temperance Alden. Somebody that has had experience based on their own craft. Someone who's not going to push that information onto you, and someone that kind of they introduce you to their way of doing things under a third voice, or third person, whatever you'd like to call it. But, that's probably the best way, so you can make your own interpretation from what they're telling you based on their own experience. And, of course, the last thing you want to do in research is research and read physical and digital books. That's something that I've done. I have a ton of books here in my house. Both physical books and also digital books on my Kindle. I thought at one point I was going to stop doing the hard copy books because I am concerned about the environment, and it is a great way just to have something light in your hand and not have to hold an entire book open or break a spine to keep it flat or anything like that. But I didn't get the same satisfaction out of the digital copy as I did with the regular book. So keep that in mind. Plus, you can take notes. You can go back to it, flip through, take notes instead of trying to swipe on a Kindle and figure out where you were. Although you could bookmark in a Kindle, you could take notes in a Kindle, but to me it just wasn't the same. Anyway, the next thing I want to talk about are tools. Now, I don't use very many tools. I make wands from branches that have fallen from trees with crystals and copper wires, so on and so forth. You may have seen those online, but you are the main tool. You are the one who has the intention and knows the reason of why you're doing magic. So you are the main tool. You can add more tools if needed as you go, but keep in mind, don't overspend on tools to have the latest and greatest thing. Again, this is in relation to a new cell phone, a new computer. Oh, I have to have it, it's new, it's the greatest, da 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 da. Tim Cook said so. No. No. Just say no. So don't overspend. Go to your Dollar General store, go to your local dollar store, go to your family dollar store, go to thrift shops, and by all means, for herbs and flowers, if you can, forage them yourself if you're able to. If you can identify the plant, of course, you want to get a book about that, but I have one, but I haven't been out lately. But you can grow a lot of herbs too. And if you don't have the room, or if you don't feel that you'd be a good plant parent, if you would, you can certainly purchase fresh herbs, even at your local Walmart. In the produce section, up on the top shelf, they have these little plastic containers of mint and rosemary and thyme and all these fresh herbs. Or you could buy dried, and for 98 cents a jar at Walmart, or $1 at the dollar store, or what have you. Even candles at the dollar store, that's where I get most of mine, except for the ones that I make for specific intentions. That's one thing that I learned to do on my own, is to make my own candles. And because I have a little kitty cat, and I'm concerned about his health, breathing in the chemicals from massively produced candles, if I'm going to be using it inside of the house or without any windows open, I would make my own candle, or use my own candle for that reason. And that's not expensive either. It's expensive to start, but once you get the ball rolling and you have all the supplies together, it's very inexpensive. When you're using magic, keep an open mind and apply your intention, whether it's a loose intention or a specific intention. For example, a loose intention would be if you're searching for, let's say, a new partner, okay? A new life partner, or a new spouse, a new girlfriend, a new boyfriend, whatever. You don't want to give specifics in the spell about what they're going to look like, their eye color, their build, their height, what their shoe size is, how much they weigh. All of that shouldn't really matter. So loose intention would be, I want somebody that's going to make a good mate for me, who I'm going to get along with, who have the same values as what I do, and who appreciate and want the same things in life that I do. That would be a loose intention. Specific, that's when you're doing spell work and you really need to put it out there based on where something's coming from. Like, let's say if you do a money spell, okay, or an abundance spell, you want to specifically say, I want to make $500 extra this month and every month thereafter, so I can pay off my credit card bills a lot sooner and save money on interest. But also you want to add on top of that, I'd like to earn this money out of blank specific way without harm to anyone else. That is very specific, because you don't want to turn your positive intention into something that's going to be a loose intention, and lo and behold, something drastic happens to where you get the money, but someone else is suffering because of it. So you want to keep that in mind. Just be specific with certain things. When you're using magic, you also want to make sure that you do your part in the mundane realm. Because if you're looking for a job, you can't get that job without creating your resume, typing up letters of interest, filling out applications, sending your resume to specific companies, researching companies based on what their values are to match your own, etc., etc. But you also need to be patient, because magic does take time. It will come to you when the time is right. You have to keep that in the back of your mind. That patience is something that is a definite must-have and must-do in this type of work. As I mentioned before, traditions. Traditions, you want to read again, research them, but if you decide that you're going to use something from a specific tradition or from a specific culture, be respectful. For example, in American Indian, smudging, which I'm sure you've read, you've heard about it, it's been mentioned in one way or another on social media or in a book or on TikTok or what have you, is according to the American Indian tribes, you have to be trained specifically to do the smudging and use the tools required to do it. Otherwise, you could really harm yourself or harm your environment. So keep that in mind. Be respectful for what you're doing. Don't insult anybody. Don't do anything that you're not supposed to, or if you're not sure how to do it, go find out from someone. What you want to do is, from each tradition, is take away what calls to you. And this is the part of making your own tradition, like I have, and many other people have as well. You can build your own tradition. You don't have to follow Wicca or follow, I don't know, Irish tradition, Celtic, what have you, wherever you're thinking of. But just make sure that you do what's best for you when it comes to traditions. Don't let somebody or a group of people like a coven talk you into a tradition that you don't feel comfortable with or you don't feel that is the right fit for you. So keep that in mind as well. And also, when you're looking at traditions, outside of Wicca, to my knowledge, religion is not required to practice. So I'm sure you've heard that before as well, but it's definitely true. You don't need to have a religion in order to practice any form of spirituality. The next thing I want to talk about is you want to certainly live what you want to attract in this realm, in the physical realm here. You want to have positive thinking. You want to believe in the process of magic and your own magic and yourself when you're performing it. Again, that goes back to the patience. You want to give back to the community. You, as a practitioner, can go donate your time, donate your money, donate what you can back to the community, which the community will recognize you. That doesn't say go put a label on yourself or wear a t-shirt that says I'm a witch or witch bitch or hello, I'm a witch. Are you a witch too? You don't have to do that. But keep in mind that you, your physical self, can go back out into the community and donate your time, your money, what have you, your belongings that you no longer want, what no longer serves you. You could do that too. The most important thing that I learned in this particular segment of the video is to pay it forward to younger people and to beginner practitioners. The reason being is because when you have someone who is new or you have someone who is younger than you, that person who's younger than you may have more knowledge and experience than what you have. So you have to be very respectful and mindful of what you say. Always ask questions. And if it's a beginner, never laugh and never doubt, because they could become more powerful than what you are today. Another thing with beginners and with younger practitioners is they are the word progress. They are the definition of the word progress. They are the definition of the word future. So our community relies on them to move forward, to move on, to get to the next step, to educate others in the future when we're no longer here. Well, physically. But that's something that you have to keep in mind when it comes to people that are younger than you, beginners, so on and so forth. Show as much respect as you possibly can, because they're going to show you respect because you're, quote unquote, the elder, or you know more, that your experience is, you're seasoned, so on and so forth. And one thing, the last thing I want to mention is change. Change is going to happen. And your beliefs are going to change over time. They have for me. I started off as Catholic when I was a kid, moved into a Buddhist when I was in my teens and in my early 20s. And then I learned about witchcraft in my teens, my early 20s, which evolved into what you see today, of who I am today. So I've taken things that I know from all these different pieces of where I was in life, and those changes made me who I am today. So keep that in mind. That's going to happen for you as well. Keep in mind that what you see online, especially in YouTube videos, if you're watching people doing spells, or if someone is sharing specific spells or ways of doing things such as traditions with you, that although it works for them, it may not work for you. So you're always going to have to learn and practice, and that's what practitioners are, is we always practice. We're never going to be a true expert of the universe. We just can't. So don't expect to advance too quickly when it comes to practicing in your craft and learning in your craft, because things can change at a drop of a hat. And I don't know what that noise is. I think it's the garbage truck coming to pick up the recyclables. If you could hear that, I apologize. But just keep in mind, the final thought, just focus on you, focus on your spirit, focus on what's going on in your life, what matters to you the most in your practice, in your craft, in everything that you do, what you want out of this. And don't respect what other people think, but don't follow the old saying is, don't do as I say as I do. That was wrong. Don't do as I do as I say. Don't do that. Anyway, that's all for today, and I thank you so much for joining me. Again, if you like this video, go ahead, click on the like button. I would be so grateful if you did. Certainly, if you'd like to follow my channel, if you like this video today, click on that bell for when I come out with more content, and of course, share this with others if you think they'd like it too. But thank you once again for joining me. It's been a pleasure, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.